They were just playing with a Ouija board for fun until it violently spelled out Satan and the candle blew out on its own. They ran out of the house screaming, but that wasn't the end. Welcome to Creep It, where we explore the darkest corners of Reddit and uncover terrifying true stories that will haunt your thoughts. Subscribe now if you love real horror, chilling tales, and eerie mysteries. Let's dive in. This story comes from a Reddit user who grew up fascinated by ghosts, hauntings, and anything paranormal. She and her sister were always curious about the unknown. One boring Friday night, when their parents were away, that curiosity crossed a line they would never forget. They remembered the Ouija board in the attic, an old, dusty thing their eccentric aunt had gifted them years ago. They had laughed at it back then, but now something about that quiet, empty house made them want to try it, just once, for fun. They lit a single candle, turned off the lights, and placed the board between them on the living room floor. At first, they just giggled and asked dumb questions. Is anyone here with us? What's your name? Stuff like that. The planchette didn't move. They were ready to give up. Then the temperature in the room dropped. Not a lot, but enough that they both felt it. And then the planchette began to move, slowly, deliberately. It felt like something had clicked into place, like a presence had arrived. They asked nervously, "Who are you?" Letter by letter, it spelled Satan. At first, they thought the other was playing a joke, but they could see the genuine fear on each other's faces. Before they could even react, the candle, standing perfectly still on the table, blew out. Not a flicker, not like a breeze. It was as if someone leaned in close and blew directly on the flame. The darkness swallowed them. The silence was deafening. They screamed and bolted from the room, slamming the door behind them. But the feeling didn't stop. Even in the hallway, it felt like something was watching, like something had been let in. The air was heavy, like the house itself was holding its breath. The next day, they shoved the board back into the attic and tried to forget it happened. But things weren't the same. The lights in their room began flickering randomly. The family dog refused to go near the living room. Sometimes late at night, they heard footsteps in the attic, slow, creaking, as if someone or something was pacing back and forth above their heads. Days passed, then weeks. And while the activity never escalated, the memory of that moment never left them. The board remained untouched. Their aunt eventually asked if they ever used it. They lied, said number. But the truth was something only they would carry. They never talked about it again. Never tried to explain what they saw or what they felt. But they both knew. That night, something answered. Maybe it was a spirit. Maybe it was just fear feeding off itself. Or maybe it was exactly what the board said it was. Whatever it was, they never played with a Ouija board again. Ever had a moment that made you believe in the supernatural? Share your horror story in the comments. We might feature it in the next Creep It episode. Smash that like button if this gave you chills. Subscribe for more real horror stories. And don't forget, stay out of the dark, because something might be looking back.